Hey guys, I want to start working on ships for my Trixel Rocket game, and I want to kind of show you kind of what I am thinking about and like how I might go about that. And I'm going to try to, I guess, build a ship with just the pieces that I've created. So let me just walk you through kind of what I'm doing, and this is a grand experiment, so hopefully it will work. So here is the software that I've been using for the artwork, and it's Hexels. It's Hexels by Marmoset, and here's kind of what I have created. I've created just this ship base. And again, this is like I'm just doing this on the fly. So I've created this ship base, and then just a bunch of colored triangles that I'm going to use to hopefully put together a ship, and then hopefully this will be the base that I can use to create a bunch of other ships that'll be in-app purchases using currency, or in-game currency. So I've created each one of these triangles on their own layer, and I've named them over here in my layers palette. And I want to go and export this. I'm going to export it as a Photoshop file. So I'm going to go in PSD, and I think I might have just saved this, but we'll give it a try again. I'm going to change the file type from PNG to PSD, and there's a reason why I saved each of those triangles as their own graphic here. And I'm going to take this way smaller because I think it's definitely way too big. I want to import these and have these be really small, because the ship is really tiny on screen actually, so we're not going to make our ship too big. So that's probably okay, and that's fine. So I'm saving this out as a Photoshop file. So I'm going to go ahead and open up that Photoshop file real quick. So we'll go to open, and here's my Photoshop folder with all of my graphics in it. Disregard how disorganized it is. And so here's my ship parts that I just created. I'm going to get rid of this glow layer because we don't need that. And then I'm actually going to rotate this whole thing because I want my triangles to be facing up. So let's just go and rotate real quick. So image, and we're going to 90 degrees clockwise. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to select just the pixels that are on each of those layers. Okay, so now that I've done that, you can see that I have each of these layers set as something.png, so ship-red.png, so on and so forth. The reason I named those layers is that Photoshop has this really cool little tool called Generate Image Assets. So if you go to File, and as long as you have something, a layer named with .png, .gif, .jpeg, whatever, it will actually generate those files for you, so you don't have to save out each individual little piece. So I go to File and Generate Image Assets. Boom, that gets turned on. And so whenever I change one of these layers, if I change the color, add something to it, draw something on it, whatever, it's actually going to then re-output that like .png or whatever. So I'm going to go to my files real quick, and my Photoshop folder, it automatically creates a folder for my ship art assets. So it's created each of those layers as its own individual PNG file. And now I'm going to go into Build Box, and I've created just as a test for myself, I've created, I just created this rocket that I originally created for the game, and then I have changed the color. I'm going to start replacing these with new little ships. Before I do that though, I'm going to go and add all of those as I'm going to add all of those ship pieces as objects, and then that way I can just drag them in and use them over and over and over again, and it's not going to bloat my file size. So let's just do that real quick. So I'm going to drag these in as objects. Okay, so now I have all of those individual little ship pieces imported, and then I'm just going to delete them from my scene real quick, and that way they're not there. And now I think I can go into, again, this is just kind of a little grand experiment here. I'm going to go into my ship. So here's one of the little ships that I created. I just changed the color, but now I'm going to kind of use this as a base, and then I've in my objects. So I can use anything in my game that I've imported already as an object to then build out what this ship could look like. So let me just, let's try something here. So I'll bring this little piece in. That's kind of my ship base. And let me just see if I can do something with it. And I know everything doesn't look real perfect right now, but again, this is just a little test. And again, these graphics are really, really small, because then in the end, you know, the ship is like that size. So you don't really see it all as detailed. So again, that's just a little test. And now I have a new rocket that I've created just based off those few parts. So, and I don't think I have this all implemented yet. Let's see. Oh, I do. So now, let's see. Go back. My character. I'm gonna make this so it costs 0. And again, I haven't really messed with the shop interface just yet, but let's give it a test real quick. And I'm going to go into the shop. And now here's my second ship. And go back. And now that I play, hopefully that's with that new ship that I just created.
Warning.
So hopefully now I'm going to create a bunch of new ships based off of that little methodology. So it seems to have worked, and now I'm going to try to force myself to do a new ship every day. All right, we'll see you later.